It's your circle, girl. It is your circle. I'm talking about this topic because y'all know I have my friends that I talk to, and we go through trials and different things in our lives. And hi, I am Lee Hill, your hair coach. And today I want to talk about, you may be not depressed. It might be your environment or the circle that you're around. The people that you keep closest to you are the ones that's probably keeping you in a state of mind that you're in. And I wanted to talk about this because I had a really good friend that's been dealing with some issues, and you know, we all have trials in our life, and I think that's one thing that we have to recognize is the fact that the trials that we have in our life, they're going to come. We're not just going to have all these great things that happen constantly in our lives. We are going to have challenges, trials, health issues, financial issues, relationship issues. It's just a part of life. As long as you live, my mom used to say, you live long enough, you'll understand, right? And so I want to talk about this because I had a good friend that went through some hardship. She went through a relationship that didn't work out. And with that came a lot of issues, you know, family and church folk and, you know, these different things. And she was like, I just don't understand, you know, why I'm still dealing with this. And I was listening to some of the things that she was sharing. I'm like, you know what? I don't think you're depressed. She was like, oh no. Yeah. I said, I think it's from based on what you just told me, it sounds like, I'm sorry, y'all, why my hair won't act right? It sounds like it's your environment. It's your circle of people that you have in your life. And she was like, what? I said, yeah. And so let's go ahead and point that out, the circle of people. And y'all know, you may have a circle of friends that a lot of us, just like in relationships, we talk about, oh, I've been married for 30, 40 years. Sometimes that's all you have is time. The relationship has ran its course. But for us, we like, well, I know them. They've been my friend. They've been my, you know, whatever the case may be, whatever relationship it is. And you're like, we've been together. But just because you have the time does not mean that person should be in your life, right? So we have to analyze, and this is something I do all the time. I tell my friends, I tell whoever I'm, you know, whoever I'm dealing with that's in my life, that I love myself more than I love you. And I love God more than I love me. So I love God and I love myself more than anybody else. Nobody comes before that. Now, sometimes I fall off track and I may put someone before, but it don't take long for me to be like, Lee, you're doing too much, right? So when I talk about your circle of friends, a lot of us have friends that they are happy when you are maybe going through a struggle. Oh no, yes, because you have friends. I did a video a couple of weeks ago talking about how women, we dress not for ourselves, but we not for our men, or, you know, we dress because we're competing against other women. And a lot of times it's within your own circle. So it's the same thing. So you might be, depending on where you are in life, you might, I'm sorry, I'm getting a call. You might be in a good status of your life, but you let a trial go on and you got your good friends. Not all of your friends are wishing you well, or you may be trying to go out for something, a job, or you trying to open up your business. When you start doing things like that, people will show you who you really are. I have a post that I posted where it says, your you know, things that happen in your life, I'm just paraphrasing, it's there to reveal you. And it's the same for your friends in the circle of people that your core people that you have around, the people that you trust, the people that you call on the phone and you like, girl, I'm going through this, or I need this. Those are the people that are going to either make you or break you. And a lot of times we will keep people in our circle on our side that should not be there, right? So you may be thinking you're going through something and you might not. So let's say you're trying to open up a business. Now you got that friend, she telling you all the stuff that you can, but there's no assistance. There's no help. She ain't saying like, she's not saying like, hey, I could do this. What do you need me to do or whatever? They just there to hear all your problems. And so every day you may call that person on the phone every day and like, girl, this going on. And before you know it, you don't have the business no more. Girl, I just gave up on that. Do you think that that was the friend that you should have been sharing and opening up with and what you're going through? Because if she was the friend, she would have said, you know who you are? She would have reminded you of who you were. She would have told you, girl, God gave you that idea to do that business, right? Here are the different steps we can do. Okay, maybe she see where you're weak at. Maybe she could say, you know what? Let's try this route. Let's go this way. Oh, I'm good with finance. Oh, I know this person that can help you with marketing. Anything. But if you are sitting on the phone with somebody and they're on the phone and they just listening to you and they joining in, most likely they don't want you to have that. Now, you can be in agreement with somebody when certain things like, yeah, you made a mistake on that. That's okay. But if every time things that are you're trying to make something of yourself happen in your life and they're going against it, that's not really your friend. Or maybe they are a friend, but they just can't be that friend that you need in that type of situation. I'll give it that. But me personally, I see that a lot. I see a lot of times when women have people in their lives and they're different, they run in different circles, but they're still friends. And you are, you know, that person may feel intimidated by your other friends, or so they always have something negative to say. We've been there, right? Or like I say, you came into fight. Now, this happened to me years ago when I moved away. And I think I told this story before, but I moved away. And I was married at the time, right, to my first husband. And we moved away, and we had a very, very good life. We came into money. His career took off. I had the salon, so things were working for me. And I remember, I live in Miami, so we got some hard parts, if y'all know about the city, right? And at that time, this was many, many years ago, y'all. And at the time, it was like 2 a.m, and we needed some hair. Now, one thing about Miami, we don't sleep. Like, Miami is something going on 24 hours, right? We're the city that they say New York is the city don't sleep. Miami don't sleep either. My friend was like, hey, let's go to this place. We can get some weave. It's a grocery store, but they sell weave, hair weave, y'all, not weed. And I was like, oh man, it was a hard area, right? Now I'm riding around and I'm riding around in a nice car, whatever. It's 2 a.m. You pull up, it's a bunch of men up there. They doing what they do. Y'all know what I mean. And as soon as you open the door, they had the car door, like, hey, what's up? I felt vulnerable because guess what? I wasn't used to that environment. I wasn't used to that environment in so many years because I wasn't in Miami at the time. I was living in, I think it was North Carolina. And so, no, I was in Oviedo, Florida, or outside of Orlando. And I was like, she was like, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good, yeah. I was terrified, y'all. And I went in there, we got the weave, and, we went home. And she was like, girl, I actually took you there because I wanted to see if you forgot about your roots. And I want to see if you was real about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm still me. Ain't nothing changed. That was a lie. A lot had changed for me. I wasn't in that tax bracket anymore. I had been in a place where I was blessed, where I had someone in my life at that time that was like, you don't have to work. You just do your salon. You could do whatever. I was good. But that friend, they were trying to open up their business, her and her husband, and they were going through some things. And so I thought to myself, I was angry with her, but then I had to turn around and be angry with myself. And I said, why would she put me in that position like that? And the guy had walked up on us, and the other guy's like, nah, leave him alone. I don't know what would have happened, but she was like, it hurt me because I was mad that she put me in that position, but it wasn't her fault. It was my fault. Because I had already understood that relationship had taken its course, and that's why she can do things like that. And I went along with it because I wasn't being myself. I wasn't being my true, authentic self and say, girl, I ain't riding over there at no 2 a.m. in the morning. I don't care if it's a good neighborhood. You know what? Stay out at night. The freaks come out at night, right? And then, so long story short, my father, my stepdad, who raised me, had passed away. And I was doing a funeral. I had to set up the funeral. I had to take care of everything, right? He had passed away suddenly from a massive heart attack. And that same person came around the house. I was helping my mom out and things like that. And my mom looked at me, because my mom was sick too. She had passed away 4 months after this funeral. And my mom said to me, you know, when God moved you from people and he closed the door, you need to leave the door closed. And it bothered me that she said that, but I understood what she was saying. She said, leave the door closed. God took you out of Miami to move you away from people that don't mean you no good, but you're still dealing with them. And that's why I noticed, even in my mindset, I would have something good happen for me, and I would call her, and she'd be like, oh, you know, she would downplay it. So guess what? I would downplay it. She'd be like, oh, China ain't all that. I would downplay it because I wanted my friend. I loved her. I wanted my friend. But it taught me a beautiful, beautiful lesson in that. Now being older now and understanding thing that circle of friend is so important. Your core people, the people in your life, are the people that are important to you. Those people, believe it or not, because you're allowing them in, it's intimate situations and things like that. You're sharing things that you may not share with the average person that you're talking to, right? So they know things about you that you don't know. And I say this to say, a lot of us be like, I'm depressed, but we're connected to people that can't help pull you out of it. If you do feel that you're depressed, sometimes it's not that you're depressed, it is your circumstances that you are in. And I think that we need to hold ourselves accountable. We're not victims. We are going to have trials, and we have to have the right kind of people that hold us accountable, that say to you, hey, it's a trial. You're going to get through it. I know it's hard, it's painful, but girl, you done been through worse. Or you've been through this, you can get through this. Those are the type of friends that you need in your life, especially if you are about to come into some things in your life that's going to catapult your life, that you have to change. And a lot of us don't want to change our circle of friends. Your circle of friends should be people that are like-minded. You don't have to forget where you came from, because I can go right now to my family and laugh and have a good time and ain't thinking about nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't forget who I was, but I understood some things that I actually was forgetting who I was when I was dealing with that particular person, because I was not being myself. But when I go now and I see my family and different things like that, I'm myself. I love going around them. I love speaking my Ebonics, honey. I love those different things. We country here, even though they say we're not country, but Miami got some, I think y'all can hear it, right? But the point that I'm making is that you probably not depressed. It's just the people around you. They not going nowhere, and you trying to go somewhere, and it's like pouring, what it say in the Bible, pouring new wine into old wine. You can't do it. Some people you got to let go. And some people, if your friends, they there and they're cheering you on, no matter if they choose to stay. Some people may choose to stay where they're at, and they're content and they're happy. And those are great friends to have, right? But those same friends, even though they're content and happy, they happy for you. That's the type of relationships that you want, and that's the type of friendships that you want. So ladies, all of this whole thing about, you know, I'm depressed, I'm going through some things, and it went for my girlfriends. Some of them girlfriends should not even be in your circle. And some of them girlfriends love the fact that you keep them in a loop. And I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to leave it at that. Some friends are mad that you have it. So let's say they needed a few dollars from you, and they knew they can come to you. Do you know people be upset that you have it to give them? And they get mad when they got to pay you back. Well, I got to give it back to you because you got it, but that ain't the point. But we call them friends, right? And then some friends just don't know how to be friends, especially in the church. So a lot of times we go into the church, and I'm going to leave it at that, we're going to the church and we meet people, but we forget that the church has so many sick people, right? So we're going to the church and we're like, child, she's supposed to be a child of God. She around here talking about, and she a hypocrite. Yeah, she probably is a hypocrite. That's why I like this movie I'm doing, Trap Set, because I played a hypocrite. I really played it. Well, I don't know if I played good, but I like the role, right? But anyway, the point that I'm making is that I understood even in the church, because I used to think like that too, like these women are worse than the women in the world, right? But then I realized that a lot of women, I don't know about the men's situation, but a lot of women cannot be your friend because they never was taught how to be a friend. I had a good friend many years ago, my friend Fallon. She was a friend because the first time she did for me, I was always the friend I always had to give people. But she was the friend I gave and she gave. And she said, no, this is how the relationship goes. And she was a ride or die friend. I moved away and so on and so forth. And we're not friends like that anymore. But that girl, I always tell people that was my one of my truest friends, because I never knew how to be a friend. You know, I never knew. So she showed me how to be a friend. And a lot of you are with people that don't know how to be your friend. They're too jealous to be your friend. But we don't let it go. We don't correct it. We don't hold them accountable. And we don't try to fix it. And so I would tell you not to just walk away from the person, because that's what they say, leave them people behind. I would leave them behind, but I would hold them accountable and tell them why I got to leave them behind, so that they can learn and say, you know what, let me learn from this. Or if maybe you don't have to leave them behind, but you have to hold people accountable and talk to them, say, hey, that right there you did and said, and how you been about me moving in this direction, I don't like that. It make me feel like you ain't my friend, like you jealous. Hold people accountable. And again, I'm going to go back. You're not depressed. It's just the people that you have around you that you call your winning circle. It's not. And if you pay attention long enough and you live long enough, the circle turns to 1 to 2 people. All right, if that. So if you are one of those women and you do have a group of friends, and I have seen it where they've been friends for years, be grateful for that, because it's a lot of women that cannot be friends, because everybody got to be the crab in the bucket and nobody's wishing anyone well, you know. So this is my message to you. You're probably not depressed. Most likely you have the wrong circle of people around you. And even in your male relationships, if you're in a marriage or you're in a relationship, whatever the case may be, if you're in a situation where you gotta die to yourself to make that person feel like the man, or whatever the case may be, you in the wrong situation. When I say make him feel like a man, he shouldn't feel intimidated if you are making more money than him or things like that. However, you shouldn't be that kind of woman that's throwing that in his face. You should be there to help him, to let him see that you're his helpmate. And we got a lot of men that are jealous of women, and you think that they're not. They're jealous of your skill set. They're jealous that you're a people person. They're, I've seen it. They competing against their own women. And I'm like, bruh, she there to help you. So if you have that type of situation, you're probably in the wrong circle. You probably need to get out of that. If you can fix it, fix it. But if you can't, hold them accountable and let it go. I am Lee Hill, your hair coach. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week with the videos and everything, and sharing and liking. I'm so grateful to you guys. I'm so blessed. And let's keep making music, guys. Let's keep creating a community where women can talk about situations and things that have happened to them that can help other women. This is what it's about. We're uplifting. We're not competing with each other. We're not tearing each other down. We're here to uplift one another. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you next video. Bye.